What is up, everybody? It's Craig from 9V Games, and today we are going to review this Atari 2600. This is a classy piece of material right here. It's also a piece of crap. No, it's not. Many older people, this was their childhood gem right here. And I got a really good deal on this one. I got it for $18 off of eBay, and it came with 10 games. So I'm going to just go through a couple of the games and show you what's up and maybe give you a little history and just a little review on basically, is it worth it? If you're a collector, I'm already going to say, obviously, it's worth it. It's a collector's item. It's a piece of video game history. It's the first, it's the first great console, even though it had a horrible ending. But let's get right to it. Let's pick something that's actually decent first. Then I'll pick a horrible one. Here's Frogger. Frogger's part of all of our childhoods. The music is what makes it the best because the music is so horrendous. So let me get this volume up here. This is awesome. This is a joystick game. They have joystick and paddle games, as everybody may know. Oh, and I died. This is definitely not a system for graphic horrors, I can tell you that. Come on. Hey, buy a car. Really, the sound effects are just the best. That's that. Frogger. I didn't do so good at it, but that's alright. Turn this down. Frogger was one of the first games I ever had. First game that I can call my own, I guess. Miss Pac-Man. No, you know what? We're going to go right here. This, along with E.T., as many of you may know, E.T. is considered the worst game ever created of all time. And it helped the video game crash from 1983, where parents got fed up with spending money on shitty games. A lot of you may not know that Pac-Man was also one of those games that ended up causing the video game crash of 1983, which obviously when Nintendo came out with the NES, helped pull it out of it. But this game was so horrible in comparison to the arcade version, people were pissed. And I think it's okay. I mean, obviously it's okay now by today's standards because we understand the technology between the arcade and this system is nowhere near each other. Parents and kids didn't understand that back in the day, so when they brought this home and they spent money on it and they were like, this is not the arcade version, that's what happened. But we'll see how horrible it is. You all know what Pac-Man looks like, it's supposed to look like. So imagine you spend $40, $50 on this, you get home, and this is what you're treated to. It's pretty fucking horrendous. I mean, yeah, sure, this is Pac-Man. This is not Pac-Man, you know. Sound effects make it awesome. I don't care what anybody says. I just want to at least beat one level. So I can prove these people back in the day were just punks. The controls are so ridiculously uncooperative. It's atrocious. What the hell's going on? I beat it. Oh, are these little dots here? Oh, that's horrible. That's it. Over and over again. I'll let it kill. But as you can see, that would have pissed you off if you were a kid. That would have pissed you off if you were a parent and you wasted that amount of money thinking you're going to get it. You just keep going. There's no dying. So, this game came out in what? It doesn't even say it on here, does it? I don't know the exact years these came out. I'm technically, you could say that I'm too young for Atari, but I do specifically remember having an Atari because I remember getting Frogger for Christmas for myself, which was great. Now, Miss Pac-Man was better than regular Pac-Man. They kind of got themselves back on par with what it was supposed to be. Obviously, it's still not as good as the arcade version. Once again, you all know what Miss Pac-Man should look like, but now that you've seen what Pac-Man looks like, let's take a look. At least they tried to recreate the music, you know? The controls are a lot more responsive. The ghosts are not all one solid color. Now, on regular Pac-Man, you saw that red ghost is coming after me. You would not be dodging that shit on the regular Pac-Man. Yeah! In your face. The screens never change, but, you know, at least it's still it's an improvement. But once again, this is not, just because you put the same area and it's pink, it's not the arcade version. Sound effects are better. At least they tried to put the theme song in it. The controls are way better. If you're going to get yourself a 2600, this is a must-have. What else we got? These are joystick games. I'm going to show you one more joystick game. This is a classic. Missile Command. If you've ever seen a movie that was showing video games back in the late 70s, early 80s. No, early 80s. This is what you saw. Arcade version, though. But this one's still not as bad. Makes me wish I had a rolling ball. Just fairly easy. It's surprising because you'll feel so much tension in the controller when you're playing, but it's actually very accurate. I already broke one of my joysticks trying to play Indiana Jones. Ooh. Flawless. Bitch. Obviously, this is a great game. All these games you could actually play for. I mean, if you play them for 15 minutes, you already made your money's worth. Because all these games are really only worth about $3. And if you find a vintage shop, you could probably get them for $1. You could talk the dude down. Because nobody wants these anymore. Space Invaders, 1978. Classic. Now you all know what Space Invaders is supposed to look like. This does not look like the Space Invaders you know. But the game's still fun. on. And I died. It's hard. Some of these games move so clunky. That's the reset screen. Space Invaders. Obviously looks way better in arcade. This is the last one I'm going to show you with the joystick. Then I'll show you a couple paddle games. But this one, I won't tell you. Everyone should recognize this when you see it. Even though it's a little blockier than the original version, it's still pretty good. It's a pretty faithful port from the arcade. I still can't fully get the controls on this game. No. Obviously, the only thing that changes is colors, speed of enemies, you know. Oh, that's almost not worth it. No. Hubert. Hubert's also a must-have. Now, for paddle games, I wanted Donkey Kong, but Donkey Kong didn't come in the mail yet. And once again, that's a game that you can find for about $2, and that's definitely a must-have. So the must-haves so far are Frogger, Hubert, Space Invaders. I mean, you could have it just for nostalgic reasons. Miss Pac-Man. Avoid Pac-Man at all costs unless you just want to have it because it's a horrible game. Missile Command. Pitfall, which I'm going to be on the hunt for. I actually want to go out and find that physically. I don't want to order it online. And Adventure and Sword Quest. I want those games. I also want Pitfall too. Those are actually really fun games. Now, paddle games. There's one paddle game that everybody knows because you've played one form of it or another. And that is Breakout. I happen to have Super Breakout. Right here. Got the right one. Hey, you're not working. What's going on? Oh, it's the wrong paddle. No, it's not. Let's I have some technical difficulties, yeah. Maybe these don't work. This should work the other day. Pissing me off. Alright. Oh, good. Well, that's not alright. Look at that. You get to see technical difficulty firsthand here. This stuff worked the other night. I think I threw the paddle controller in. My bad. Come on, bro. Wow. Alright, no paddle games apparently. Do I have any other paddle games? Casino. This is blackjack. I'm just making sure the paddles work. Yeah, the paddle's working. That's weird. Let's try it again with Super Breakout. This bums me out now because I actually enjoy Breakout and I played it the other night. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Damn it. Man, alright. I think there's something wrong with my Breakout. Man. Oh, by the way, I did not know I had these on Expert. There are difficulty switches on the system that you can pick your difficulty because you don't have menus in Atari. So, I've had it switched on Expert apparently the entire time. But yeah, a little bummed out. Super Breakout doesn't work. It's not a problem on my paddle, as you saw it work. I also have Raiders of the Lost Ark, which I don't even understand how to play. Here, I'm going to show you guys what happens. I can't even start the friggin' game. Ready? Where's my joystick? I'm a hot mess right now. I don't know what the fuck's going on here. Look. It's one of those games that do not work. Pretty horrendous. So what do I rate this? Okay. How do I go about rating this? Realistically, am I going to play this all the time? No. Would you play it all the time if you got it? No. Would you play it sometimes, occasion, bring it out just to be funny and for the novelty of it? Yeah, absolutely. Is it worth $100? No, it is not, unless you're a hardcore collector. Is it worth $18 if you can get it at 2 in the morning? Absolutely. So, I'm basically saying, if you see this thing cheap, pick it up. It could be fun. I mean, it's nice to have in your collection, but don't go out of your way to get it, because realistically, if you think of the times that we're in now, I mean, I got my Atari in the same row as my 360. Which one do you think I'm going to play more? I'm not even a graphics whore. It has nothing to do with graphics. It actually do with playability of the games and just how old they are and the complexity. I mean, like, you'll always have your Pac-Mans, you'll always have your Breakout, you'll always have your Space Invaders, blah, 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 but all them things have been redone. In fact, I forgot what game journalist said it, but every game is just essentially Pac-Man rebuilt on top of each other over and over and over in different layers. So, I mean, do you want it? Do you really want an Atari? That's the question. I got it because I got a good deal. If I was spending more than $20, I wasn't buying one. So, just for classic reasons, I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5. And that's really the best I can do. Thank you guys for watching.